Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I'm Willie Bragg. I hope you all had a great weekend. Me, not so much. I was busy as hell. Tired. But hey, it's time for another live stream. And that's what I'm going to do. And basically, I ran across this live stream. I ran across this weekend. And it's kind of an old subject, but it's. Uh, I'm going to say I'm downplaying the seriousness of it with just the campiness of it, and there's a little bit. It still ranges on some serious cultural war questions too, regarding our society and society making too much of a big deal over what have you, and what I want to discuss is two transgender influencers. I don't know the politics of Dylan Mulvany. I I don't know her politics. I do, sadly, however, know the politics of Blaire White. And Blaire White is a right wing transgender influencer who, on the surface, she's out there to try to, on the surface, one would think, when knowing who she is, that she's trying to mainstream people from the transgender community to give to for broad acceptance in society. But then watch her videos, and it's not that at all. It's a facade. And what she's doing basically is making money off of people's bigotry and hangups. And again, I'm not a cancel culture guy. I believe that people have a right to express whatever opinion they want, no matter how offensive it is to me. And I have often said that it's easy to be for the free speech of things that we all believe in broadly. But it takes strength to support the free speech of things that you are diametrically opposed to. And I'm not saying this to be self-righteous, to say, oh, look at me, I'm virtue signaling, I'm a good person, what have you. I'm not saying that, but there are certain things that I don't agree with. I think all racism is evil. uh, I don't expect brownie points or badge of honors for saying that. It's just if you're any semblance of a decent person, you reject all racism, no matter where the racism is coming from. You reject all anti-Semitism. It's okay to criticize Israel, and for those that think that criticism of Israel is anti-Semitic, get over yourselves. It is not. You know, Islamophobia is also unacceptable. That's also a given as well. Homophobia is unacceptable because in society, everybody's supposed to be a live and let live society. And transphobia is also unacceptable. But transphobia, I mean, it seems to be the accepted bigotry that exists out there. Even sadly, among some progressive feminists, that they're called TERFs. And are they really that feminist? Are they really that progressive if they engage in hatred against the transgender community? Um, and there are leftists out there in general that are just not fully on board with the idea of transgender uh, individuals being entitled to basic free rights or equality and civil rights that the rest of the LGBTQ community expect, and what their allies expect in terms of equality. And this is not being politically correct. This is not being woke, as some people on the right like to call it. It's called being a decent person, to basically expect that everybody should be treated equal in society, no matter what walks of life you're from or what have you. The only discrimination and the only bigotry that's acceptable to me is hatred against the wealthy, hatred against billionaires, hatred against the those that wages war and inflict harm on other human beings. You can hate, and even with those people, you hate what they do. You hate their power and prestige. You hate their ability to havoc destruction. But do you hate the individual? I try not to do that. Again, certain things I have to work on myself when it comes to that sort of thing. Martin Luther King believed in civil disobedience and not hating your oppressor. Something that in terms of Black History Month and Martin Luther King's recent birthday, could tell you that it took Bear Rustin to influence MLK in that positive direction when he was kind of thinking, "What in the world do I do?" And he went with the advice of Bear Rustin to talk about, nonviolent direct action, peaceful resistance, that sort of thing. And I believe it largely works, whether it's Gandhi or MLK or Nelson Mandela or whomever. But we're talking about equality today in terms of Blaire White and versus Dylan Mulvany. And I got a lot to say about this video, so let me get started here. I'm sorry to be long-winded for the very beginning, so please forgive me. I got everything set up, and we'll discuss.
35 of being a girl, and I wanted to record to say that this might be the hottest I've ever looked and will ever look in my lifetime. Is it the dress? It could be the dress. Is it the makeup? Or is it the hair? And I know that I look like I could steal a husband, but I want to promise you, look me in the eyes. I want to promise you that I would never do that to you.
That's so cringe. There's no deeper statement for me to make here other than the fact that, like, the narcissism isn't cute.
Day 35 of being a girl, and I wanted to go on record to say that this might be the hottest I've ever looked and will ever look in my lifetime. Is it the dress? It could be the dress. Is it the makeup? Or is it the hair? And I know that I look like I could steal a husband, but I want to promise you, look me in the eyes. I want to promise you that I would never do that to you.
That's so cringe. There's no deeper statement for me to make here other than the fact that, like, the narcissism isn't cute.
Okay, all right. Let me talk about this right now, and I'm going to give you my take on this. To Blaire White, if she happens to watch this video in its entirety, my advice to you is to mind your own damn business. She is not, Dylan Mulvaney is not harming anybody. She's an influencer. She's she can be a little silly at times, granted, a little over the top, a little campy. Not going to argue, dispute that. But she's not harming anybody. She's not grooming anybody. She has not influenced people into a bad direction or what have you. All the right wingers last year got upset because she decided to go and advertise on behalf of Bud Ice. I'm sorry. Was it Bud Light Ice? Whatever. And you had people wanting to boycott Budweiser. I mean, and to get worked up and have a dumbass like what's his name? The white rapper guy that went and shot up at all of those cases of beer that in his yard or what have you. And to have some weirdo right winger telling selling what was it? He was trying to sell anti-woke beer and told people to told Dylan Mulvany to keep away from kids. Where were the kids in that video? I mean, you have people that want to be a bully. Yeah. Are they so fucking insecure of their sexuality or their gender that they felt the need to be triggered like a little bitch and to whine about Dylan Mulvany, with her Bud Light commercial, Bud Ice? Was that really necessary for for the right wing people to go on a boycott campaign? Oh my God! If the left ever boycotted anything, you'd be hearing like for Chick-fil-A when the CEO said, well, he didn't believe in same-sex marriage, and progressives and the LGBTQ community were saying boycott Chick-fil-A. Oh, you believe in censorship and canceling people out because you don't like the fact that the CEO of Chick-fil-A is a God-fearing, great American. That mentality. But I got into an argument with somebody and told this person, I'll mention this person's name. This person will never see the video. I said, James, really? You're getting upset over progressives boycotting Chick-fil-A? Well, what about when the right wing people in 2003, when the Dixie Chicks, said some mean things about George W. Bush, that they went and wanted to boycott the Dixie Chicks and essentially ruined their career at that point. And he literally said it was okay. He literally said it was okay to boycott the Dixie Chicks. It was a great thing to do, but liberals and progressives better not boycott Chick-fil-A, or they're being a bunch of politically correct little pussies. Or what about every time, if the left wants to boycott, they're being pro censorship. When the right wing boycotts, they're being pro American. And you know what? People got a right to boycott whatever the fuck they want on either side. And I have my right to make fun of the right wing when they go on a boycott campaign. To boycott Bud Ice because of Dylan Mulvany. That's what's triggering people. You don't have to love trans people. You don't have to. You have a right to believe that you have a right to believe in whatever projection you have, but what you don't have a right to do. I'm referring to the right wing, the culture warriors on the right. What you don't have a right to do is to actively deny the transgender community or any other community of their rights, as long as they're not harming anybody. And Dylan Mulvaney's not harming anybody, by the way, not one bit. Don't have a right to do that. And I just wanted to go and play that video, and I'll play it again because I just want to illustrate how ridiculous Blaire White is. Yeah, and I'm going to comment some more on her.
Day 335 of being a girl, and I wanted to go on record to say that this might be the hottest I've ever looked and will ever look in my lifetime. Is it the dress? It could be the dress. Is it the makeup? Or is it the hair? And I know that I look like I could steal a husband, but I want to promise you, look me in the eyes. I want to promise you that I would never do that to you.
That's so cringe. There's no deeper statement for me to make here other than the fact that like the narcissism isn't cute.
And these right-wing grift isn't cute either, Blaire White. You have people there don't respect you and don't like you, but that there's a confirmation bias, and you're out there to make it sound like that every person from the transgender community are all crazy or some weird pervert or what have you, and you're one of the good ones. Just kind of like what Dave Rubin in regard to being gay. He wants to let every right winger know, I am one of the good ones. And Dave Rubin is not a good person. Blaire White's not a good person, because they both know fucking better what they're doing. They're being allowed, and they're making money. They're making millions off of people's right-wing hangups. And again, people, they have a right to do what they have to do. They have a right to make a living, even by those means. But you know what? I think people should call them out on it. People call them out on this shit. You know, I mean, you know, to do this sort of thing. I mean, you know, Laura Loomer herself, a few days ago, talking about you know, left wing Jews or being against America, that sort of thing. You know, and when people, you know, that's another thing. When you hear George Soros' name, and I have my opinions on George Soros, he's a shit lib. He's not a leftist. He's a shit lib. You know, and you know, I appreciate what he did 20 years ago, trying to undermine George W. Bush and Dick Cheney, because they deserved it to be undermined in every way, shape, and form. But at the same time, he's still a shit lib at the end of the day. He's not a bona fide leftist. He supported Hillary Clinton in 2016 over Bernie Sanders, in spite of what many of us think of Bernie Sanders today. We're talking in terms of 2016, when he was actually one of the good guys, Bernie Sanders at that time. So to the right wing about George Soros, he's not this hardcore leftist. He's basically, you know, an American. I mean, you know, he's basically to America just another Hillary Clinton Democrat, another Joe Biden, another Barack Obama, another Chuck Schumer, another Nancy Pelosi, i.e., a shit lib. Not a hardcore leftist one bit. And that's what I want to discuss right there, you know, and beware of the right wing when they talk about Soros, and you know, they're doing what Blaire White's doing with regard to the trans community, and what Dave Rubin's doing with gays, and with regard to Candace Owens with regard to the African American community. Now, I'm not trying to make it out like, you know, that somebody from some marginalized group are not allowed to have conservative opinions. In fact, you know, I don't give a damn normally, but you know, grifters when you see it. When you see a grifter, you know it. It's not even from the heart. You know, you can tell when one day this is where they were politically, and not too far in the distant future, they seem to throw away everything they've ever believed in. You better bet your Beetle boots it's all about the money. It is all about the money. And I hear from right wingers talking about left wing podcasters are grifters. There's no money to be made in comparison to the right wing. The right wings, the PragerUs and all of that. These right wing groups, the Heritage Foundation with their Project 25 and all of that. These people got money. They got deep pockets of money, and they're willing to funnel it. The Koch brothers. I mean, they're willing to funnel it to put a stop to anything remotely positive when it comes to the left. And never ever forget that. So I just wanted to go and say that. I also want to say good morning to Miguel. And it's great seeing you here. And good morning to you, Warren. Great seeing you here. And it was great seeing the Secret Show the other day. I was glad to see the Secret Show back, and without any technical difficulties. I remember I had a technical difficulty. I occasionally have technical difficulties with my videos. I think we all have at some point. But anyway, you know, just kind of wanted to share that out with everyone. And if you all like what you heard, please press like and comment anyway. We'll have a conversation, whether you like what I have to say or not. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are the muckrakers of our time. Feel free to also subscribe to the Willie Bragg Show on all the forums and on all the platforms I'm on: YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble. All do it all. That's what I have to say. So and also remember to always reject corporate media, because they have nothing to offer. Remember also that we need to support these causes. So I'll say it again. Free Julian Assange, free Palestine, free healthcare for all, and of course, free speech. Y'all take care. I will see y'all again soon.